Hi, it's Erin and Simon with Assets and Arbitrage. Hoping you guys had a good week. Today is the day before 4th of July. Um, so we're hoping you guys have a fun and safe 4th of July tomorrow. Everybody come back with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. We would appreciate it.
Mhm. This isn't the saying. This is not the opposite of the holiday that they're gonna force down our throat, is it? But we're not gonna go there. So, hi everyone.
Mhm.
Like we say, be stacking, be stacking, be stacking, be stacking those ounces, be stacking those satoshis, and anything else that you may be invested in. Let's stay stacking.
Mhm.
Let's be disciplined in that.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll be stacking. Right now, we're just going to go over. Today, we're going to go over a classical Bitcoin indicator that we see in the cycle that is showing itself, and we want to go over it real quick and see if we can break down some of the clear indicators, and it will give you a. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It will give you some kind of direction when you can see kind of why you love watching the Bitcoin chart pattern. I don't usually do technical shows because so many people do those shows, but I feel like this was a good technical show. Hadn't seen anybody go over it recently, so I figured this would be a good one for us to go over um, today. But I know Aaron likes to let people get in the room. Anything else going on? Just it's been a
Yeah,
while.
no, it's been a while. Cousin Jake is here, BK
What's up, Jake?
Crypto. Boom, guess who stepped in the room?
Yes, indeed.
Cousin T Will Line, he's been on since we were setting up.
Oh,
Let
sorry
Freedom
about
Ring
that.
is here. Hello, cousin. Cousin
Yeah.
Jake wants to know if the chief is going to come on to talk about XRP. The chief's been ripping and running. We haven't had a chance to really
Ah, man.
link up with him, but it would be good for them to talk about the what would you the ebbs and the flows would be the nice way I put it with XRP. Cousin Alkebulan, I hope I said that right, is in the room. There's still less than 10 people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to get to the meat and potatoes just yet, because this is our regular show time
Oh, yeah, we
on
did
our
make it
regular
actually.
day.
Did we make it?
Yeah.
Oh, we made it.
So yeah, this is 4th of July Eve. Today, on this day in 1999, I got my driver's license from the state of New York. So there's that anniversary. It would have been my parents' 60th, 61st wedding anniversary. Had my father lived. They were married for 56 years. It'd be 60. It was 56 years, but they didn't make it to that 56 when he passed away 2 weeks prior. So they've been married for 60 years today, if my father was still with us. So lots of stuff on the 3rd of July. Lots of stuff, lots of stuff. You guys know that the 4th of July is not a holiday in Mexico. Tomorrow will be business as usual. Cousin Jay said he ordered $450 Tesla Mezcal tequila. He don't know
Oh,
about the purchase. Did you taste it? Or do you have it just for Um, let us know if you tasted it. He said, I don't know about the purchase, but hey.
yeah, I don't know about
I
that.
didn't know that Tesla had a
But you know
mezcal.
what? That might be a nice
Investment.
souvenir, something to hold on to.
Hmm.
Definitely.
I'm
Definitely never
shocked
know.
Trump ain't come out with a daggone tequila for his campaigning.
Hey, hey, give it some time. Give it some
I
time.
thought I heard somebody just come into the bedroom suite. Tino?
No, 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 don't worry about that. That's them cleaning.
Oh, okay, I
But
thought somebody came in the room.
okay, so he got that. What
He
else?
said it's on its way. Secondary at an $1,100 now. Oh, okay, so
On a
you got
secondary
you.
market, so it already that's past 2x.
Hmm.
Okay.
He can resell that bottle for the price of the tequila as a souvenir. Yeah, he can. I told you that was Tino.
So you can sell the bottle without even any tequila in it.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong?
What's the matter, Punky? I called you because I just wanted to know who came into the room. Grumpy. Talking about
What's
who
it say?
called me. Why'd you call me? Are you tired? Do you want to just lay down? Mommy's got to do the show. Go ahead and lay down. Okay. All right. You can sit on my lap. He
So
like wants to come, but he doesn't want to be on camera when he's like this.
yeah, so that's a good investment. We got to look into things like that. We still got our SFIV tequila coming. I don't know if you can get
But is that
for
a work
that
in
much on the
progress?
secondary market, but you might be able to get a little something one day on the secondary market.
It is a work in progress, y'all.
It is. It is.
Hold on, I gotta tuck this little
Because we
baby
don't,
in.
we don't get as much time to work on it, like specifically carved out. So we got a lot of other things going
But the refining
on.
process takes a while anyway.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going on. But yeah, today we just wanted to talk about some chart indicators we've been seeing because Bitcoin, like Aaron likes to say, has been doing its dance. It's been doing its dance, and people, when Bitcoin starts to do its dance, people get a little, a little ants in the pants because they're so used to it moving, so heavy to the upside that when it just kind of hangs out in this, I call it accumulation phase, people sometimes get nervous, especially newer people, newer buyers. They'll get nervous about this. And, us OGs, we've been through these cycles. So we kind of just know what we're looking at. We know how to just sit back and be like, okay, let's just relax for a little bit. We had a nice move to the upside. We enjoyed it. So now we're going to see some accumulation, pull back. It's all the same. It's all the same cycle, same dance. So,
But at the same time, when we talk about living things that grow,
mhm.
right, whether it's wealth or people or biological things, organic things, you always have like that spurt
Yes.
and then like that plateau. So while people are waiting for Bitcoin to explode to 100 billion trillion, you do have to understand that like the slow and steady kind of wins the race things with the occasional spurts and regression
Hmm.
is very natural and organic. Whereas the dollar is just doing this, right? There's no like ebb and flow with it growing upwards or increasing in its purchasing power.
Hmm.
It's a dead thing,
It's a dead thing.
right? Whereas Bitcoin, like a living thing, it's got its ebbs and its flows, it's got its growth spurt, and then it'll have like its little plateaus and it'll have some regression, right? Even adults, when we're talking about maturation and things like that, you'll see a grown adult regress, right? It's what the midlife crisis kind of was. They regress back to like their 20-year-old self. They want to party. They want to see if they can still pick up chicks and can they still get men and, buying cars and spending money in a way that a 40-year-old at full maturation wouldn't do. So you
Hmm.
want to look at it like this is really a living thing. It behaves as a living thing. It performs as a living thing. And if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, yes, it could be a duck-billed platypus. I've had people tell me, but it most likely is a duck. I remember that one time I used that. Somebody was like, it could be a duck-billed platypus. You never know. I say, you're right. You're right.
Those are few and far between.
But the fact that they thought of it, I thought that was good. I thought that somebody's going somewhere in life. Y'all, we about to get this storm, Hurricane Beryl, maybe. If nothing else, the fallout from it, because we're not anywhere near water. But it's so dark here. Like guys can kind of tell. Usually the sun be like blasting in through, and it's just been so dark and overcast lately. And we've been feeling so lazy. Like day one of quarter three, y'all, we supposed to be out the gate, ready to like, let's do this. We're
Yeah.
like, I need a nap. We don't have no sun or anything to kind of like make us feel motivated. So I'm hoping this storm hurry up. I'm gonna take the day off tomorrow to do some stuff. I hope you guys have started your quarter three goals. I hope you have drafted them up and stuff like that. Um, Cousin T said, a lot of people are upset that they are out of dry powder to buy this dip. So I'm guessing they don't understand that if the blow off top is before July 2025, they'll have to pay short-term taxes. Understandable. Very understandable.
Yes,
but it's unfortunately like that is, people say you're not about that life. That's part of the life, right? So
well, I think you just mentioned something, and it'd be a good place to start. We got 11 people. I don't know how long you want.
Yeah, no, we can go ahead and start talking.
Yeah, a good place to start is
the day before 4th of July. They might be shopping for like barbecue stuff and stuff tomorrow.
Oh, that's fine. So, sounds good.
Go ahead, baby.
Sounds good. We should start with quarter three. So we're busting right into quarter three.
Pause.
So into quarter two, like they say, a lot of people say, is end of the first half. All right. So this is the beginning of the second half, right, of the year. And like we've said this over and over again, quarter three is important because quarter four is truncated.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't really get a whole bunch of time to do everything you would like in quarter four. So quarter three, you need to really be pushing through. In quarter four, you kind of just tying up loose ends and getting ready to push through for quarter one of the new year. So let's go into this.
Well, real quick, Cousin Jake said, Cousin T, they better get a credit card. You got to get savvy. Short-term taxes should be on anyone's mind. That's thinking out the box. That's probably what they're going to do anyway, though, Cousin T, for real, for real.
So, yeah, so what we have here is, this is an article from Cointelegraph. And so I wonder if we could pull this up just so they could follow along.
Let me just go back so I can see what we're looking at. Okay. Yeah.
Let me see. Yes, indeed. So let's go to the top of this article. And the article's title is, How Long Will Bitcoin's Price Consolidation Last? That is the question we all want to know. So here we go. Some crypto analysts expect Bitcoin price consolidation to end based on a technical chart pattern and a falling exchange reserves. So what you mean exchange reserves means they're being bought up. So what is this pattern? It's called the Wyckoff pattern. And some of you may be familiar with this, some of you may not be. So we'll go over real quick a definition of what that is, the Wyckoff pattern, so that we know.
Is it in the article, or you about to look at something else?
I'm looking at something else. There are 4 phases to the Wyckoff cycle.
I could have pulled that up for now.
Oh, no worries. It's just because it's quick. The 4 phases of the Wyckoff cycle are accumulation, markup, distribution, and markdown. They represent the trading behavior and price action. Once the final markdown phase of the Wyckoff cycle is complete, a new accumulation phase will kick off a new cycle, and I think that's where we may be now. Okay. So let's start with the consolidation. So technical analysis using the Wyckoff method points to potential end to the current Bitcoin price consolidation. Would you do? Yeah.
Based on the Wyckoff pattern and decrease in Bitcoin exchange reserves, Bitcoin could be gearing up for a breakout, according to the crypto analyst and crypto quant contributor On-Chain Edge. If the reaccumulation phase continues, we could expect breakout towards markup phase as the next step in the Wyckoff cycle. And let me see if I click on that for y'all. Let's just see how it look when I do it. Okay. So do you want to show them anything on this chart?
Not this one.
Okay. That's my bad, y'all. All right. Keep going. So Wyckoff accumulation is a classic technical analysis setup named after Richard Wyckoff, a technical analysis pioneer in the first half of the 20th century who broke down the market cycle into 4 distinct phases. On-Chain Edge also pointed out that the falling Bitcoin exchange reserves suggest that we have entered the reaccumulation phase.
So there's just for those 4 phases again: accumulation, markup, distribution, and markdown.
Decreasing exchange reserves suggests accumulation as Bitcoin moves off exchanges. This is consistent with the reaccumulation phase. The exchange reserves have been decreasing for a while. This means Bitcoin is being moved off of exchanges, which indicates confidence among holders. So that's good news.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bitcoin price monthly downtrend could be over. According to the popular crypto analyst Rect Capital, Bitcoin has potentially broken its month-long downtrend after falling over 7% during the month of June. And then it says that the downtrend is in light blue, which looks green to me. Do you want to show them anything on this chart?
You say the downtrend is in light blue.
That's what it said right there. Has Bitcoin broken its June downtrend? And then look at the light blue, he said.
Okay.
Which looks green.
Yeah, I see it. And so let's go down one more before we
But you don't need to look at this
chart.
chart.
No, we will come back to it.
Over on the daily chart, Bitcoin is seemingly forming a technical chart formation known as a bull flag, which suggests further upside momentum according to the analyst. The macro higher low is confirmed and Bitcoin is now rallying to the upside.
So when you get a macro higher low, everybody knows that you're looking for higher highs, higher lows, right?
Okay.
When you get a higher low, that means you have some sort of support right there. So that's looking at the macro higher low, and they're saying that is right here.
Do you want to click on it so they can see it? There you go.
Yeah. So this is where you were able to draw and draw your flag right here.
So this is the flag?
Yep.
The blue lines of the flag?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See, so there we go. And we are having a macro, and that's what we're looking at because it's not a micro higher. So it's a macro. So it's kind of like zoomed out as we like to see it. When in doubt, zoom out. So that is the macro bull flag right there. Next, here we go. More.
Based on technical chart patterns, Bitcoin's price could reverse and break out to the 90,000 mark in the following months, according to the popular analyst Titan of Crypto, who shared the chart below in July. And I'm not a chart expert, y'all.
Oh, I know.
I'm learning with y'all.
He shared this chart on Twitter. And this is a good looking chart right here. You see the flag right here. And at this very small juncture, you see the breakout is what he is
trying to show you.
Yeah, he's trying to show you where the break out and up. Right now, this is only technical analysis, but this cycle has come around time and time again, and it is.
Hey, OC Benji, thank you for joining. Okay.
All right.
However, traders should be mindful of more potential selling pressure from a German government-labeled wallet that moved nearly 6,500 Bitcoin on June 19th. In its latest move, the wallet transferred 52 million worth of Bitcoin on July 2nd and still holds over 43,850 Bitcoin worth over 2.75 billion with the B. This type of selling pressure paired with the other macroeconomic factors could overpower Bitcoin buyers, according to Christian Lampiev, structured products lead at Nexo, who told Cointelegraph, Bitcoin's current consolidation phase is driven by various factors that need resolution for the asset to appreciate. Currently, selling pressure from government bodies, such as recent sell-offs by Germany, could suppress investor activity. Bitcoin could also see selling pressure from the MTGOX creditor repayments expected in early July. More than 9.4 billion worth of Bitcoin is owed to approximately 127,000 creditors who have been waiting for over 10 years to recover their funds. Lord have mercy in heaven. This could mean that many investors will likely cash out after a decade of untouched profits. I believe that it will.
And so what you can see here is you're going to see, as far as these people.
You think they kept the interest?
Did they keep the interest? Who, the investor?
When I say the interest, I mean the extra money on it, or they just got to pay it out for real, for real. They got to pay it all out.
They got to pay it all out.
Oh, they don't get to keep nothing?
No, they got to pay it out.
Good for their asses.
So when you see that and you see this this German I guess they're calling it a government entity.
Yeah.
These are newer wallets. So this, when you go on to on-chain activity like SOPR, spend output profit ratio, you see that these are new wallets moving.
It sounds new.
And so it's a lot of new whales moving things around. And you can tell by, the date of the wallet and all that, they're trying to move things around, shift stuff around. This sounds like a lot of money, but in the Bitcoin space, it's not a lot of money, right?
Because it's kind of new money.
Right, because even if it shakes the price a little bit, Bitcoin is still going to do what it's going to do off the pattern and everything. So this is the pattern that people have been seeing. What was his name? Titan. I've heard of Titan, man. I see his stuff. He posts crazy stuff in between. So I don't follow him too tough, but the stuff that he does post is legit. Okay. It's legit. On-chain edge is legit. And the people here within this article are legit people. So are people that you should listen to. And if they have, these charts out here, something that we can, see what is coming in the future. Like I said, if you're an investor, you're an investor. It's just something that you watch come and go. Some people who are traders may be trying to catch the swing here and there. And, that's up to you if you're a trader and you're trying to catch these little market, because some of this stuff, like you said, that bull flag was on a daily chart. So if you're a trader, you're looking at that daily chart. You're looking at that bull flag on a daily chart. But when we're talking about the macro, you're not really looking at a daily chart. So you're looking at a chart that might be out, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, even to a year. So that is what we had about the Wyckoff and what is to come in the future here.
But it basically sounded like good news, upward trends for Bitcoin. They're talking about the breakout being at 90,000.
90,000 is, he's saying that could be the break because of the cycle. That is the number that everybody's looking at, 90,000. But you know how that goes, because when people try to trade at a certain number, all of a sudden, if 90,000 is the number, and then you get all these future contracts, people are sitting on it at 90,000. It makes 90 a difficult number. Excuse my voice. It makes 90 a difficult number to reach because people will be sitting on that number. They'll have contracts on that number. People will be actively shorting that number. So it'll be a number either before that or it'll blow through 90. It never does what it's supposed to do, but it'll do something. And that's what it'll do something in quarter 3, because like I said, quarter 3 is the quarter where a lot of movement happens. Even if it's not Bitcoin and other investments, you see a lot of movement in quarter 3.
In the market in general?
Yeah, because people on holiday, right? Is that what they call it in Europe? They're on holiday, so they're really just coming back, getting into the swing of things. Once quarter 3 is like, okay, now we're back. People in the United States, I don't know if they're on holiday, but
their kids are on vacation and stuff.
Yes, it's summer vacation, 4th of July. What is July month? What month is July? I forget. You know what it's called.
The whitest month of the year?
Yeah, Jesse Lee put us on. So everybody's having a good old time, with a top hat on. And once all that, fun is over, then people will rather get back to work.
But too, October is the end of the fiscal year for federal contracts, the federal government, the military, for a significant portion of capital in the United States.
Yeah. And so people have to have their
books in order.
And
their budgets.
Right. So they have to have, they have to be moving on 2 different accords, because not only do you have to have your books in order fiscally for the fiscal year, you still have to be ready for the end of the actual physical year.
The calendar year.
So you have to be doing two things at once. And, that's what I mean. People who do this and businesses do this they're used to doing that, right? And I mean, you work for a large company, and so this is something they have to do.
Well, the company is European, so they don't follow American. They have their own little weird things that they do.
Yeah, I understand they don't follow American, but just in global context, that they're a global player in the global market, that they have to follow.
Yes, correct.
And so that keeps us also her being plugged into this foreign entity. She's like a mole in there. So we know what's going on deep inside of some of these international companies and what people have going on and their viewpoints. And even by just dealing with the international companies having a perspective of the perspective they have on you as Americans.
Yeah.
Like you might not get that inside, like, oh, that's how you see it. That's how you think about us. And you think we do things. So these are all, good things to pick up in your daily, no matter where you work or how you can just pick up on little things and add it on to your what would you say? How would you say add it to your what?
Just implement it to your portfolios, whichever one they affect. Whether it's your life portfolio, your career portfolio, social portfolio, whichever one.
So yeah. Oh no, I'm just saying this. So that is a good, like the way she put it. That is a good way to implement it into your life portfolio. But I'm sorry if you wanted to read that.
Jake said, I feel the TA. Daily RSI is oversold and we at 60,000. This is crazy. Last time it was this low, it was in October of 2023 and at 25,000, then ran up to 74,000. Imagine a 3X from here. Shake my head. If you ain't in, you crazy.
Yeah. And so what he just mentioned something, and I came across earlier as a moving indicator is RSI. And how he said it's oversold. And if you guys are familiar, like I do like to follow closely, his name is Plan B, and he's the stock the flow model creator. And I like to follow him. And so he is coming out, he's a quant and analyst. And he's coming out speaking about RSI and just as Jake said, being oversold right here. And like he said, so he has it here. There will be, exponential returns, and we will see RSI values above 80 again, like in 2013, in 2017, and 2021. So time will tell. And it's a very technical chart. If you don't understand Plan B's model, the chart is hard to read. But he is saying that the RSI is going to be a major factor in some of this movement. And just like what good brother Jake put out there, we're looking at maybe a 3X since we haven't seen these levels since when 2023. So preparing for a 3X.
That would be nice.
Be nice. It'd be nice for everybody involved.
We got stuff to do.
For a 3X?
Got
What's that mean?
Meaning when that 3X hit, I got stuff to do with the profits.
Oh, okay.
I got stuff to do.
Yeah, he says he believes the RSI in this cycle will reach peak level cycles. And that's good. That's a good thing. He's still on track for his stock to flow model, which is supposedly going to reach $1 million by 2030.
Yeah, I think Kathy would have said the same thing.
Yeah, and she's a fan of stock to flow.
Is she a fan of Plan B?
Yeah, stock. Yep, she's a fan of Plan B, who started the stock to flow model, and he's a trader. He's an unknown trader, hedge fund manager from somewhere in Europe. So if you follow him, his face is blurred out, his voice is weird. You don't really know who he is. And so, so it's a little bit of mystery to him. Check out who Germatch IO. Okay. And Aaron, we definitely got stuff to do, cuzzo. Yeah. Yeah. And so these were just a few articles I came across. I mean, it was kind of slow motion this week. I didn't see anything. I mean, the price movement isn't much. Oh my goodness, if you talk about precious metals, man, that's nothing. There's nothing is moving there. Yeah, but that's what you expect. Summertime precious metals, those are the same guys that really be on holiday when you start talking about the precious metal investors. So it wasn't just a lot going on in the space that I could see. There was a few other things going on, but it wasn't really in the Bitcoin space as much as it was just global economic news. Same old, same old, same old. Not too much. It's just the same going back and forth with the bricks. Who's gonna join? Who's not gonna join? It's like a little soap opera at this point, and only the big players. In my opinion, the big players matter right now. Whether somebody in Tanzania wants to join or not.
Tanzania.
Yeah. So
Cousin Jay said, Aaron, we definitely got stuff to do. Yes, we do. I'm already counting that money up. Like, I got some stuff to do.
and so I might have missed something over the couple weeks if we talked about it or not. But we had President Bukele going to Argentina, and then having the Argentine president becoming pro Bitcoin. Did we talk about that?
A couple of shows ago, we
We did?
mentioned the tweet, but
Okay, we mentioned the
it's
tweet.
really not much to say other than that's game theory that's playing out.
Okay,
And he's recruiting apparently.
Yeah, so pro Bitcoin president Javier Milei.
Let me see.
I don't know how you say his last name. Milei.
Milei.
Currency issuance in Argentina is
Approved.
So
it's Milei.
So Argentina is one of the biggest. It's probably the second biggest economy in South America. So that's a huge domino to fall. Only thing else is Brazil.
But here's what they don't know. Is Milei is advancing Argentina's economic strategy to a zero monetary issuance phase in order to tackle inflation. He's proposing significant tax reductions and a series of financial reforms, emphasizing a pro-cryptocurrency stance. He supports the use of Bitcoin and advocates for currency competition. So with zero monetary issuance, he's basically trying to constrict his monetary supply to keep inflation from running away.
And do you remember why?
Because it's running away.
Because this is the same gentleman who took the highest denomination.
Was this him?
Yeah, from 1,000
to 10,000.
To 10,000,
right?
just on a dime. Like he just 10x'd it, and so that lets
and
your currency
President Bukele had to be like, hey, come over here. What are you doing? Get over here. Let me talk to you for a minute. That's funny.
But he's that same guy.
He wants to introduce a bill to Congress that would criminalize money issuance, including the imposition of jail time. So legislation would classify, I can't even pronounce this word, but basically issuing money as a criminal offense, holding any and every official accountable for authorizing it, including the president, is liable to face incarceration. He better watch what he's doing before something stupid happens. He got to issue some money. All undeclared assets up to $100,000 that were not regulated before will not incur a government fee. For assets exceeding this threshold, the government offers preferential rates that vary based on the declaration date. Assets declared before September are subject to a 5% fee on amounts over $100,000. This rate increases to 10% for declarations made between October and December. Declarations made in the first quarter of 2025 will incur a 15% fee. All fees must be calculated and paid in what? US dollars.
There you go. Game is still the game. They want US dollar. They don't want it in Argentine pesos.
Mhm.
They don't want
So
it.
we're kind of sort of seeing what those central banks meant when they said that the US dollar still holds a significant yield.
Yeah, because when it's time to ante up,
You got to pay it in dollars.
yeah, better have
Get
a
that
US dollar.
fool.
You come over here with any kind of currency, it's like, man, we don't want that over here. And so, people have to be prepared for that. I'm talking about big players, major players, people trying to get on the big player scene. They have to be ready for these things.
Mhm.
We just talked about a couple shows ago. Is it still Nigeria? Sometimes.
Well, go ahead.
Where they playing real loose in the streets over there with
The secondary market. That was
market,
Lagos.
the black market. They
That's
got all
Lagos.
kind of names for these markets.
That's
and I'm
Nigeria.
like,
Basically, the streets.
the streets.
They're a market all by themselves.
It's like, oh man.
We're not even talking about like a real official kind of market. They just mean the streets because the money is so big, I guess, in the streets that it itself is a market that they can't ignore with the amount of capital flow in the streets.
In the streets.
Cousin Jake said hidden secrets of money got him wanting to buy some gold, but he can't pull the trigger just yet because Bitcoin got him in a chokehold. He don't let that stop him.
Yeah,
that's why I don't be having the coins loose
I
enough to do stuff.
Yeah, I don't buy gold.
He buy Bitcoin and the silver and the gold.
I don't do gold too much until they get this gold to silver ratio
back down
till it's tightened up. But yeah, you should be getting some precious metals just to have in there, in your portfolio, just to be diverse.
But I'm glad y'all watching Hidden Secrets of Money again. It's really good for any age, right? For your like the kids, like Jace got little ones. I think his oldest is absolutely old enough to understand most of the concepts in Hidden Money.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he's got really good animation and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great for school-age children, teenagers, whole entire adults. Not that you guys would be surprised, but I think the average person would be surprised that the average person doesn't know anything about their United States monetary policy, even though money is 99%, I'm going to say 99.99% of the average American's lifestyle, right? Whether you have a little bit of money or a lot, money rules your entire day, and it takes up a significant amount of real estate in your mind, regardless of if you don't have two pennies to rub together. That sits in the real estate of your mind. To your billionaires whose money is always on their mind. Y'all remember when Snoop said, was it Snoop? I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Later on that day, what did Dre come through with?
I missed it. What did he come through with?
See, where my hip hop heads at? Later on that day, my homie Dr. Dre came through with
I can't remember.
With a gang of Tangeray.
Oh, Tangeray, yeah.
You see?
Something to get
and some bubonic that tried to make me choke. That ain't no joke. I had to back up off of it and sit my cup down. Where y'all at? Man. We should do a show and ask people questions. Like, what time was Usher going to pick that girl up?
I don't know if people know that or get that.
Do you know what time he's supposed to pick her up?
No, but I'm not a big R&B fan. But somebody might know.
7:00.
Oh, okay.
I'm in my drop top. Y'all are terrible. What? See? The one knew. He said a gang of Tangeray.
A gang of Tangeray.
I didn't know what kind of weed that was, though. He said, talk that talk. She's spitting.
Yeah. So, Tangeray, yeah.
When you married to a hip hop head, she got to finish every sentence with a bar.
Yeah, I used to do that, man. But it's so many.
See, the one said 7:00. I'm telling you, people know this stuff.
So many bars got lost in my head over the years.
How many chambers?
It's 36.
Good job. Good job.
So yeah, I mean, everybody's got their Bitcoin analysis. Everybody's got their. Everybody has their. Yeah, Peter Schiff. He has what he thinks. You have Jamie Dimon. He has what he thinks. You have Jack. He has what he thinks. So everybody has
what they think about what?
Bitcoin price implementation, how it should be used, things like that. And starting to see some separation, a lot of separation on this. Bitcoin is a tier one asset.
Mm-hmm.
It is an asset, and it is being used as a treasury reserve asset. It's not necessarily the fastest payment. So you may be able to pay with something else faster than Bitcoin, but
They go my XRPers, right?
The Bitcoin is being held by the big dogs who are doing it. So you should follow the money.
Mm-hmm.
You see whole countries, whole nation states are getting behind Bitcoin, and you just have to see where the money is going. They're trying to attract people to the country. Argentina, great country, a long, rich history,
mm-hmm.
but they need new people to infuse something into that country, right? Mm-hmm. Because they can't just live off of all the old stuff. Everything's changing.
Mm-hmm. That dog done had his day.
Yeah,
honey.
So they need to get new, young investors, people who are thinking, forward thinking. They need more people like that to come to their country, not people who to come and party, pick up women.
He's talking about
people over there, people over there running around doing stupid. What do you call it? With the banking system, trying to get some kind of arbitrage and edge off of their Argentine peso against whatever stronger currency they have, playing those little games. Michael Saylor told you try to play those little games and he got burned.
Oh, he got burned bad?
He got burned bad because it was nothing he could do about what the government decided to do with his money. And who could he complain to?
Nobody.
Once it was said and done and they took his money, he had no one to complain to.
Nope.
And he couldn't even go back and complain to his home country because they tell you that's what you get.
That's what you get. And you got it good. Yep. And if it's understood, that's old, y'all. Y'all ain't ready for that.
They need new.
That was audio too.
Yeah, they need new innovative people to come over there with real ideas and not all that bullshit. Mm-hmm. That happened, that's Argentina. It's supposed to be
the blue dollar system.
What is it, Argentina? It's supposed to be one of them places like
cultural,
but you're supposed to go fall in love and stuff.
They try to make it like South America's Paris.
Yeah, perfect.
Even though they try to make their Spanish sound Italian, it's weird.
Yeah,
they want it to be like Paris, but then they Spanish is got a lot of Italian culture too. Right. They want it to be like a European country. Now, here's what you may not know. I don't know about this president, but the president before this president had a real tight in with the Swiss royalty. And it was just so weird because you were like, what are you doing over there? Like, how did you get in with the Swiss royalty? And they had all of these ties all the way back to Nazi Germany, like their family and stuff. It's real interesting.
Yeah, it is because whether you guys know this or not, if you get out here, these what do you call them? Latin countries. Mm-hmm. You got a hierarchy where it's this country thinks it's better than this country.
Oh, yeah, that's heavy here.
In this country.
You don't really see that much in America other than maybe the food wars, like how y'all hear me and Cousin Rue go back and forth about pizza.
Yeah.
Food wars, hip hop, right? New York's going to try to dominate. That's the only time you get those little minor nationalistic, we're better than you in this particular thing. Maybe sports. Right, with your legacy franchises like and stuff. Like even New York got that for baseball.
Yeah, even they hotshot lawyers and stuff will usually come from New York City or something.
Or
Like,
LA or
yeah, LA,
something
you
like
need a
that.
big
So
time.
you can see it in smaller
Big time.
capacities, but when you start traveling, you will see that
Just what she was saying.
Mexican is like a slur
Argentina
to other countries.
is trying to distance themselves by having an N with Europe. Like that.
Right.
Like, oh, really? We're European.
Yeah, we're not
actually
really
European.
like, we're here because that's where we are, but that's not really where our heart is. So they have that type of the colorism, the culturalism, the nationalism. And like I said, I don't know if there's any Mexicans here watching, but like, Mexican is a racial slur as far as other countries are concerned. You go to Costa Rica and start just throwing that around like, oh, are you Mexican? They're ready to fight you because they think you've insulted them. So West Indians kind of got that. We don't be ready to fight, but it is annoying when everybody thinks you're Jamaican and you're like, there's more countries to the West Indies than just Jamaica, right? When you hear Patois, don't assume it's a Jamaican because there's just so many other countries that speak, the Patois.
Mm-hmm.
Asians, I'm sure that shit makes them sick. Everybody Chinese. I'm Korean. You're like, oh, that's my bad. Or I'm Japanese. Oh, or it's a country you just like, I didn't know.
Yeah. And
Right.
so, yeah, you'll see that big, heavy if you start moving around.
They be ready to fight.
Yeah, and, just different, even as far as speaking the language and the different accents and different, like, okay, so where'd you learn this? You speak some kind of Mexican Spanish as opposed to speaking some kind of Panamanian Spanish.
Whistle Tone, and I haven't seen you in so long, Whistle Tone.
What's up,
Thank you for joining. Venezuela used to brag that they were the United States of South America, but not now. His ex-girlfriend tried to tell me one day.
But let me jump on that real quick because
his high school girlfriend then?
Right? No. Let me jump on that real quick because this is back in the days, and I'm glad somebody mentioned that. This back
Venezuela?
This back in the days of, if you guys remember, Hugo Chavez. And Hugo Chavez had Venezuela coming back up good. Like, they got all of that gold in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And Venezuela, this is back, if you remember, when they were really shutting down the cartels in Colombia. And you were having a big flight of Colombians to Venezuela, and Colombians were fleeing Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
And Venezuela had took the high road, let a lot of Colombians come in. But that's when Hugo Chavez was the president. And yeah, he was doing some of the same things that you could say Gaddafi was doing. But he died. He died at 58.
Like Gaddafi did, but go ahead.
Yeah, but like, it's like, dang, he was the president, all of a sudden he just died.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so he had Venezuela going in that direction. And then Venezuela, if you notice, has just went all the way downhill since Hugo Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
And now their money is just blowing around in the streets. It's worthless. It's trash.
Yeah. But his high school girlfriend tried to tell me that Columbus, Ohio, was the New York of Ohio. And I was trying to just roll that around in my mind like, but how? How could it be the New York of Ohio? So you got all these places that want to make stuff the such and such of such and such.
Yeah, just probably meaning the cutting edge part of that part of the state.
But use a different city. Don't use New York.
What I say?
Pick somewhere else. Say it's the Cincinnati of Ohio.
But there's already Cincinnati.
No, it ain't no New York of Ohio. Let's just stop it. The only thing that's there is a school, and that's it.
The Ohio State University.
That's it.
Mention that.
That is it.
And the murders and homicides.
That might be up there with New York. But it's also up there with Cleveland. So
yeah.
So what we saying? But as far as Mexico goes, like Mexico has their own hierarchy and stuff too. They're able to look down on the Central Americans.
They're able to look down on people for different colors, slight shade.
But also like the Central Americans too. Because they're a much bigger economy and stuff like that. But like I said, you start getting out the country and you just start assuming that somebody's such and such, or somebody else is such and such. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to Mexicans, they're ready to fight you. Let's
Yeah,
just know
but if
that.
that Mexicans think they're better than Nicaraguans,
But that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So Nicaraguan ain't gonna be ready to fight you, but if you
They don't
tell
know.
somebody from Argentina, like, "Oh, you Mexican," they want to fight.
Nicaraguans don't really have a leg to stand on.
No, they
who
don't.
you
That's why I
talking
said
about.
Mexicans can look down on Central Americans.
They don't have a leg to stand on. But Mexicans look down on their own people here within the
Yes,
country.
they do, and it's horrible the way they do
darker
it. But Americans do that.
The darker, yeah. But here you can just implement it. Here, like you're light, you get a good job. You're dark.
Oh yeah,
you
they
go
can.
work
The
outside.
oppression is
Yeah.
more legal.
Yeah,
here.
you go work outside.
Like the sign will say, we are soliciting very attractive women with longer hair, you know,
right,
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you obviously, you know, you can't do that in America.
You gotta be
yes, you can hear the different accents throughout Mexico. Funny story, I went home to my mom, and as soon as I get home, she wants to use my Spanish for all the stuff she can't do Spanish with in Florida, right? She lives in Kissimmee. So she takes me over to a place called Panciana Produce where they only speak Spanish. Come to find out, they're Puerto Rican. So the guy and I are talking, and I'm really trying to do my best to give him the best Spanish to help him understand. And he's staring at me, and he's like, "What are you?" Because I'm speaking Mexican Spanish. I'm throwing a little New York bodega Spanish in there because I realized some of it's not going to translate to him. Mm-hmm. Then I had to go to my the Queen Spanish, the King Spanish, right, from Spain. So we could just get the pieces of the cuts of meat down properly, in addition to some of the vegetables that she couldn't seem to find that she know they got in the bag. So finally, you know, it's just the way he's staring at me, and he asked, and like, "What are you?" is what he asked me. Not where are you from? Where's your Spanish from? Like, what the hell are you? Because I can't figure your Spanish out at all. I know what you're asking me, but where'd you get that Spanish from? Mm-hmm. And then I'll tell him like, "Oh, it's Mexican Spanish." So he's staring at this black girl. He's staring at her mom who looks Puerto Rican but doesn't speak Spanish. He's all the way confused. He's like, "Why do you speak Mexican Spanish?" I said, "Because I live in Mexico." "What are you doing in Mexico?" I said, "I live there." Like, what do you mean? And you know, I'm being an ass on purpose. I'm just leaving him in confusion. But you know, the different accents are there. The different Spanish is there. You can tell. I had watched this cute little Dora.
Let me ask you a question. I gotta know this. Mm-hmm. Is the quality of the produce and the meat,
was it worth all of that conversation? All she wanted was,
or could we went to Publix and, hey, let me get this ribeye.
No, she wanted a pork shoulder, but
pork shoulder.
It's freshly butchered there, like here at Panciana Produce. She wanted Mr. Basil to make the roast that he made.
I don't think Publix would give you a bad pork shoulder.
I don't think so, but you probably won't pay for it though.
Oh yeah.
Whereas she got a giant probably for like next to nothing. It's like going to the Guyanese supermarket, but it's just way further. Oh, okay. And then when you go to the Guyanese supermarket, you got to speak your patois so they don't gringo the shit out of you when you order stuff from back there, and they got to put the sticker on it. What's up? I lurk. I lived in Venezuela for a bit in the 90s. Oh, that's why I was so tone knew that.
Oh yeah.
T. Willine in Argentina. That's where the German Nazi fled to. That's why they look like that. Mm. Yes, because the family had that big in with Europe. That's why.
Hit them with some.
So this previous president, that family had all these ties to the Swiss president. And they started talking about how that's Lucifer's seat. That's where he is, and how that family served. It's a whole thing, y'all. Look at their novellas, who they show on TV. Yep, everybody. Even here on the telenovelas, everybody might as well just be white. Except for when they have domestic staff and stuff in the background. Those be the darkest people ever. Yeah, if there's criminals in their telenovela, they're typically almost black people. We in Florida right now. And I just had to do the same thing, was looking for cigarettes, and the lady didn't speak any English. As soon as I get home, my mom dragged me all over Florida to all these places to use my Spanish to get all of the stuff that she can't get when
looking
I'm not
for
there.
Cigarillos.
Yeah. Cigarillos. He said you should have. Oh, she said you should have gone Whitney Houston. I'm every woman. I don't know that he would have gotten that reference though. I think she was Dominicana. Who, me? Typically they think I'm Dominican or Cuban here because it doesn't sound like Mexican Spanish to them.
Yeah, Cuba's not very far from Mexico. It's just like a plane.
Mom got to get a new store. She going through too much for some not even the produce. She wanted the meat really.
Yeah,
Of course, she did want some plantain, right?
Y'all tripping, man.
She wanted some plantain.
That's a lot of work just to get a piece of meat.
She wanted something else. But she wanted me to go through the different cuts with them.
She just wanted to show off her daughter spoke Spanish and,
to a bunch of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, just to say, yeah, I can come over here and get stuff from you.
She looked Puerto Rican, and that's the problem. And they're even more mystified as to why don't you speak Spanish? I don't look anything like my mom, I don't think. She like a abuela. No, the lady in the store here in Florida, she's Dominicana, yeah. And then we also have the, like, Publix got the sabores, where they have the little eating restaurants and stuff. All right, I know y'all are doing Zoom, but you tying up my stuff. Where they have the little sabores, you can go and eat hot meals for dirt cheap, delicious, y'all, absolutely delicious. We used to have a Publix right outside where we lived, and every now and then someone would go over there and just have dinner, just to kind of get away. That's when the kids were little and rambunctious as hell. So sometimes we would have to, my mom come over, we go over there and eat dinner, have a quiet dinner, don't have to share the food with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
The best plantains, rice and peas, oxtail, best stuff you could think of for cheap.
Them days are gone.
Them days are gone. But that's it, y'all. We had you guys for about an hour. He just wanted to show you guys the upward trend using the Wyckoff pattern. So we have some bright days to come. Cousin Jake and Cousin Aaron got lots of stuff to do when this thing go 3X. So we'll tell you all about that. I need to throw some money at the people doing our tequila. I had tasted it the other day and I said, I imagine that this is what Nas was talking about when he said that shit that make your soul burn slow. This is probably what it tastes like. So we need to work on the refinement process for our tequila. He can drink that stuff. It's
I'm just making that. It's tequila.
Like isopropyl or something. I can't drink it.
It's back from when men were men.
Cousin Jay said he's in Polk County. My mom live in Polk County. Polk County must be ginormous.
Yeah, it's huge.
And don't go to Ponciana for nothing but high school football games. Yeah, yep, she lives in Ponciana. That's like getting the best Hawaiian Poke at the liquor store in Hawaii. You trying to die. I ain't trying to die.
That's like what now?
Getting Hawaiian Poke at the liquor store.
Oh.
That's the ether, y'all. Woo!
Yeah, y'all tripping on that. Like, like we said, we brought up this fancy technical term, Wyckoff.
To say good news is in the future, y'all.
And you can go study that. It's in the Bestopedia, and it'll break it down if you want to learn more about it. And you want to learn and see where the phases were if you weren't interested in that. But we got the same chart pattern in GU, number go up. So that's the chart pattern I'm rolling with. And most of us have been rolling with for the last
Cousin Jake, I don't know if you know, Simon wanted to do his own tequila brand. So you have to go through like tastings and testings, and then they go through the process over again based on, the feedback that we give them. Sometimes we take people with us so we can get some feedback from them. It's a pretty long process getting your
It's a long process.
Tequila brand up and running.
And cousin, I was really ready to take it to the streets, guerrilla style, where you could you feel like this is good enough. Let's go to the streets.
No.
It might not be in every store, but we'll get it in some stores.
No.
Like, hey, what's up with this? That little paper bag money. You know how we do. Right. It had to be perfect. It had to be perfect.
I'm concerned that it can be used to keep the constitution of dead bodies at this point. I'm very concerned that it's able to do that right now. You could put a whole liver in there and it'll just be there forever.
Just put it on certain people's cells.
Or worse, it'll dissolve the liver immediately. a
That's
fun
it. This sounds just
contact.
funny, man.
So it was I can't even describe.
And cats here don't care because they like to get tipsy. They like to
Just
get
smelling it
tipsy.
made my head go like this a
And
little.
they like
Like
to.
y'all remember in the cartoons when they like would be seeing stars and they head be going like this and little stars and little birds be going around. Just opening the thing that the decanter, whatever they call it, in order to like for us to test it, had me like, whoo. I fear you could use it as a substitute for chloroform. I
Mhm.
have a lot of fears about it, so it's going through the refinement process again, the flavoring process, how they play with the wood and stuff like that,
Hey,
the
hey,
barrels,
hey.
the different types of the blue agave in order to kind of make a signature flavor. But it's a process and a half, cousin Jake. Mezcal, yeah, right, but he didn't want it mezcal. He wants it tequila. So I do
Mhm.
get it that you could just leave it like that and turn it into a mezcal, but
Just call it that. Yeah,
it needs work.
we went to a whole mezcal educational class,
Hmm.
and we learned a lot. I
Hmm.
tell you that I learned a lot. I learned a lot about.
That should be on the website. That should be on the YouTube page.
Yeah, I learned a lot there. I didn't think I would learn a lot. I said, yeah, I'll come to this class. Let me see what it's about. And I was surprised, like, oh man, I learned a lot about mezcal and
How
how
they
they make it.
mm-hmm.
And all this time in Mexico, now this has been some years ago. I just didn't know like tequila had to be made in Jalisco.
Mm-hmm.
No other state. It's 31 states in Mexico, only Jalisco.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys know what goes down in Jalisco,
And we did learn that too, Jake, that all tequilas are considered like mezcals, but not all mezcals are tequilas.
excuse yeah.
Which in that case, if we left it like that as a mezcal, it wouldn't be a tequila.
And
But
so,
Simon wants a tequila,
yeah, and like
so
I
it
said,
has to go through.
it has to go through Jalisco, which is
It's pretty far from here
it's
too.
far away and it's a tough place. A lot
Mhm.
of things go on in Jalisco.
He gets trust. He gets
It's a
like
tough place.
recruited
It's a,
every time we go there,
it's a tough spot.
and I'm like, I don't even want to take Sean with us.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
Hmm.
When you talk about some of the stuff that you see on the media that goes on with the cartels and things like that,
Hmm.
okay, that's Jalisco.
Yeah, that's
That's
Jalisco.
Jalisco. So, yeah, if you got friends hanging out in Jalisco or doing things or business or working, yeah, be worried about them. But the
They run
people,
this town. Like when we
oh,
talk
yeah,
about
they
all
don't
of those
play.
other cartels and stuff like that, they are the Jay-Z, Kanye, Rihanna of
Man,
running the town of
man,
Mexico.
it getting so crazy because I've been looking at. I sit around, I watch
Like
these.
Zacatecas and all of them. Don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
Mm-mm,
perfect. I sit around, I
they
watch
don't.
these.
It's Jalisco.
I watch these documentaries about this stuff and the problems they got in trying to rein people in, and they're sending in like Navy SEAL teams
Mm-hmm.
to come and just thwart this stuff like at night so nobody knows about it. But it's not going to make the headline news, but they're sending in like deep cover Delta Force type of United States teams to come in here and deal with the cartel.
Deal with the fire that they caused.
Yep, putting
That's
out their
why
own
they do it
fire.
at night. They putting out their own fire.
Yeah, it'd be like some deep
So
recon
y'all done
stuff.
tried to burn the house down from the back, and you come into the front to put the fire out like heroes.
Yeah, but they don't even put it on the news or nothing.
They can't because people would put the two and two together. They've already put the two and two together. You would just be confirming.
Yeah, it's too many people coming out saying, "Yeah, I was on this team and we had to go on," like she say, the Zacatecas, and
Hmm.
we had to take down this
Well, they
guy
already
and
made
that.
the movie about it twice. Sicario 1, Sicario 2 tell the whole story.
Yeah,
So they told on themselves, and they like, "Oh, you guys watch too much TV." So no, you just basically told us in a media format,
mm-hmm.
basically. But that's it, y'all. We hope you guys have a joy-filled, fun, safe 4th of July. We want everybody to come back with all 10 fingers, all 10 toes, right? Don't be drinking and dipping the freaking, what did they used to call them, rocket ones? The quarter stick of dynamite. They used to have a name for it. Be sticking them in kerosene so you can get bigger. Don't do none of that. Let the professionals do the fireworks. Are the documentaries found on YouTube also? I have read, yeah, all the documentaries I watch. Cousin John Thompson, so it's a new name.
Okay, I'm
Welcome,
sorry.
cousin. All the documentaries we watch be on YouTube. They be so good too.
Which documentaries do you speak of? The ones I just
Like the cartel ones.
Oh yeah, they're definitely on YouTube, and they're usually shorts.
Mhm.
So what you'll get is you'll get a few different type of documentaries. You'll get like these personal documentaries that people will put together. Those are real good because they're not they haven't been, what's the word I'm looking for? Not flagged, but nobody's really kind of
Mhm.
put any like ratings on it. So those are real good. And then you'll catch the shorter ones like that are on Vice and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And they'll have good documentaries about, sending in the military
Yeah,
to get
like
this.
great footage, great
Yeah.
firsthand information. He said, thanks, I'll check them out. Yeah, you be up all night long watching that stuff. And then what happens is, right, then a documentary about something else interesting would just pop up in between all of the stuff you've been watching. And now you're down the rabbit hole looking at the Italian mafia's influence over, New York City in 1970s and stuff like that. It'll just start tying in all the different go from the cartel to the mafia to the Jewish mafia to the that'd be so good.
It's some real interesting stuff. And because the cartel, and I don't want to go too far off on the thing, because the cartel actually is trying to clean up their act, if you will, trying to take some of that drug money and turn it into something clean, right? The top level cartel people, it's the hotheads in the middle who are bringing on all the scrutiny.
Well, one, they're trying to prove themselves and move up the ranks, and it's not easy to move up the ranks when a lot of the ranks are family affiliated and stuff like. I mean, it's really not that far from the infrastructure that the Italian mafia created with real made men and this, that.
Yeah, just with not
where'd your family really come from? Who's your dad?
Not the rules. The mafia had tighter rules, but the mafia's rules got loose at the end, and you see that's why they unraveled.
Yeah, like John Gotti Jr.'s son was too reckless and stuff.
John Gotti was too reckless.
He was reckless as well. Yeah. Cousin Jay said he can't wait for us to get it done. Anything he could do to help with awareness, let him know. He's definitely going to get a few bottles. Yeah, we got to make sure that our tequila can't be used for science or medicinal purposes first before we start thinking it out for you guys. Let Freedom Ring says sound dangerous. It is. So we go do our thing, come back home to our quiet place. Y'all in the mob? No, no love. We're not in the mob. We're black people. That's not what we do. Anything for clicks. How far do you think the Bitcoin gonna drop?
How far do I think it's gonna drop?
Based on the technicals, obviously.
Based on the technicals. So we have a number. I can't call it right now. I'm sorry, it's not pulled up. But there's a number that you would think it would drop to based on the different cycles that it has done over the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you would see some of these these drawbacks, right? These retracements.
The retracements, yeah.
But this is the first time that you ever had Bitcoin with real money behind it.
Oh, that's true.
So this makes it interesting because now there was no BlackRock behind it. There was no ARK Investments. There was no Michael Saylor. So now that people got real money behind it, I don't think you can have these big
drops back to 50.
80%. Yeah, like it dropped back down to 25 or 15. I don't think you can have that with this big money in there.
That's true. This would be the first time that we've seen that, so we will have to
So
watch.
it's hard to call that number because this is almost new. Now we're in like almost uncharted territories because these people don't want to lose money. They're not here to lose money. BlackRock and
Grayscale,
ARK Investments, Grayscale. So I don't think it's going to pull back as much as the chart would tell you, which is a good thing. But it still will have to pull back because it can't just go up because constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sorry I don't have a number for you, but we're in some new, different, uncharted waters, so we have to keep our eye on things. Maybe keep an eye on how much you see them purchasing. Because now once Blackwater got involved, see if you guys understand and remember, once Blackwater got involved and these places get involved, you hear that they're involved, but then you don't hear anything else about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like how much are they buying?
Right.
Okay, now we're involved.
Mm-hmm.
Are we buying how much per quarter?
Mm-hmm.
How much, and so that's the thing that you got to kind of like zero in on. Like, okay, you're involved, but are you buying a lot while you're involved?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you just involved to say you're involved and
Mm-hmm.
you're not really putting that much capital behind it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certain places like Grayscale and MicroStrategies and stuff like that, they're so heavily invested that you understand that they're buying. You ever see these blotters that come out and say, MicroStrategy bought another 7,300 Bitcoin.
They'll give you,
They'll
numbers,
give you that
concrete numbers.
Yeah, and that's what you need because you don't always see concrete numbers from these other places.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that Kelly bought another 9,100 Bitcoin and stuff like that. So you need to see that they keep on investing and they have new initiatives. They're rolling out new initiatives. That's why what El Salvador is doing is important because they're telling you about the initiatives they're rolling out. They're telling you about the places they're going and spreading the word and all these things. And as much as MicroStrategy too, he tells you about the education and everything he has going on. So that they're all the way in ARK Investments, Kathy Wood, stuff like that.
Anything for clicks that he think is gonna drop 40 to 42,000. Cousin Krisky Lee 14. Thank you for joining, Cousin Krisky.
Yeah, that's not bad. You could live with that. I mean, somebody who bought at the top, like at 70 or something, that hurts to go back to 42, but 42 wouldn't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Larry Freedom Rain said, just keep buying the dip.
Yeah, that's what I would just keep doing anyway if it was going down like that. Bitcoin, I think, has separated itself from US dollar
significantly.
So with Bitcoin dropping down to that number, that doesn't really give you an indicator of what the US dollar would be doing and stuff like that. But if Bitcoin was dropping like that, I would think people would be going to safe havens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would that be? Our favorite safe haven is precious metals.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see people going to that. And then, maybe back to bonds. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. It's a wild, wacky ride out here.
But, 42 sound crazy. Cousin T didn't like that at all.
Yeah, he
ain't like that at all.
Yeah, 42 is rough, but I can live with it. Mm-hmm. I've seen worse.
Y'all done made him come back in the chat and everything. He's probably doing something in the office.
I've seen worse.
40 what? Wait, let me sit back down here and say something. But we are gonna let you guys know. Let you go. There were, I think, 41 people at the height of the room. I was trying to watch and then I got distracted.
42 for a deuce.
Mm-hmm. There's 39 people in the room now. The best place you recommend to get metals. So we do Miles and Franklin. You guys get a discount if you say that Aaron or Gordon sent you. APMEX, so APMEX.
Precious
American Precious Metal
Metals
Exchange.
Yeah.
So APMEX, APMEX.com. And we don't use the other ones anymore.
No, but they're still good. I mean, we've never
Yeah,
had any problems with them.
Something bullion.
SD and JM, I think, or
JM bullion.
or switch them back.
You can buy precious metals from Mike Maloney.
Oh yeah,
GoldandSilver.com.
GoldandSilver.com. Mike Maloney, he is the one who put out the
Hidden
Secrets. You might
Hidden
not know
Secrets of
that's the
Money.
same dude if you go to GoldandSilver.com.
Yeah, I know because his hair is all white now.
Yeah, you might not know that's him, but that's him. Hey,
Yep, APMEX.com to us has the most, to me, inventory that you could choose from. You know, if you're doing self-service. Miles and Franklin, we like because if you don't know much about precious metals, you can talk to a consultant there, representative there, who will help you begin your precious metal journey. Give you the information you need. You can ask them questions. You have that human contact in order to help you along your precious metals journey, what you'd like to do, what your goals and objectives are. Mm-hmm. Or even if you're like, I want to buy a gift for my wife, my girlfriend, my cousin, my niece. I don't know what to get them, but I do want to get them some precious metals, and they'll help you.
Yeah, that's good. And I've heard they're even selling it at like Costco and stuff like that.
I heard about Costco. We know that they're selling the gold. Cryptonomics was telling us now they had added silver to that, so I'm not sure. I hope I'm not misquoting Cryptonomics. But yep, that's where you can get precious metals from. And APMEX.com also has the silver chart so that you can keep up with the price of silver, gold, platinum, palladium, copper, bronze, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and it has a convenient tool on there too, which is like your own pie chart, and it's your own portfolio
on your dash,
and it lets you know how much your silver is worth and resale value to them. So you can always celebrate back to them. So if over a couple years you got this amount, it'll tell you this is how much it's worth to us, and then you're like, okay, you can just celebrate back to them.
Package it up, send it to them. It takes 2 to 3 days, and boop.
Checks in the mail.
Bob's your uncle.
So yeah, let's go ahead. I
just want to make sure there's no other questions. All right, cousins, we love you guys so much. And a QR code. Someone scan the QR code. It shouldn't be up because that's not our QR code, but the gentleman will thank you.
Okay.
And we love you guys so much. And we will see you Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time ish. All right, guys. Y'all know we Black and we do everything we can to get there on time, but stuff be crazy. All right. So come back with all your fingers and all of your toes. I don't want to hear any bad stories. I want everybody to be safe and have fun tomorrow. Bye.